Take a look at this. JP Chase CEO warns multiple headwinds threaten the US economy, urges investors to avoid false sense of security. If you were feeling good today, you might want to skip all that. Because honestly, from every single field, things are looking bad. And trust me, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news. Matter of fact, I'd like to give you only positive thoughts and tell you everything's going to be all right. But let's be real, the US economy is a garbage hole and hasn't been all right in a very long time. And I mean, that's kind of so in every single field, it seems. The SEC is a mess. Jerome Powell may not rule out future rate hikes as the Fed gets ready to meet amid stubborn inflation, analysts say. And also, the US economy is actually a wolf in sheep's clothing as the weak GDP report masks underlying strength, Wells Fargo says. Basically just weakness all across the board. I saw a little fly. Just weakness all across the board. And it really makes you wonder where exactly things are strong at. I've got a hint and we'll talk about it in the next video. It's AI. AI is in a really good spot. The US is also doing really good in terms of AI, with Tesla now ramping up the game, and I think it being a very big sector for crypto too. But once more, I'll talk about that in the next video coming out in a few hours. So if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press that like button, and you might want to subscribe for the next update because I'll be covering which coins I'm excited about for the near future. Having said that, I can't talk about only positive things here because I understood I started the video really negatively, then went on to say, oh, but things are actually quite exciting. Let's stay with that negative thought though. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF faced zero inflows for the last 3 days. This has been one of the major points of criticism in the market. And matter of fact, when you start looking into it, I'd say there's like 6 or 7 main points that are keeping people really afraid of the crypto space right now. 9 new FUDs, which are fear, uncertainty, and doubts, emerge after the halving. The halving was an event that everybody thought was going to be that big supply shock, the big shift putting us into a bullish market. And when it turns out that it really didn't do too much of that, people got afraid yet again. And here are a couple of the points that people are afraid of. First of all, there are rumors going around, and I'd say these rumors are well substantiated, meaning that they've got a lot of weight to them, that the Ethereum spot ETFs over in May will get rejected. And there's even guys as big as Justin Sun saying exactly that. Quote, Justin Sun predicts the SEC rejection of Ethereum ETFs in May, citing a need for crypto education. The chances of the SEC approving an Ethereum ETF in May continue to dim amid recent developments. And I mean, with all these lawsuits going around in the crypto space, yeah, I mean, it does make a little bit of sense for them to not go ahead and approve it because that would mean the counter opposite. You can't sue Ethereum for being bad and then also be like, well, but every institution can buy it. In a similar sense, I posted this on Twitter already because I personally think it is ridiculous the way that they're charging this. But they want to basically get Mr. CZ, the co-founder of Binance and previous CEO, sentenced to double the normal maximum of 36 months in prison, which is wild. And it's also catching people off guard by the idea of, wow, you see, you could just run a normal crypto exchange, do nothing wrong, still go to jail for years, which is interesting to say the least. At the same time, people are afraid of more Mt. Gox dumps. They lost their Bitcoin at what? $500 a Bitcoin, and right now it's $70,000 a Bitcoin. Anyway, to continue on with the story, there are possible delays in interest rate cuts, which are keeping people indecisive because, oh, if it's going to get delayed, people don't know exactly where they're at. The SEC issued a Wells notice to Consensus, which are the guys behind Ethereum, DTCC haircut FUD, and the way I personally perceive all this is haircuts, some at least announcements have come out quite recently about the way collateral works in the crypto space. And to be very specific on the definition of this, haircut, not like this one, but haircut in the financial sense here, the percentage difference between what an asset is worth relative to how much a lender will recognize of that value as collateral. And so the definition of that could be changing for crypto ETFs. And apparently no collateral value will be given for any ETF or other investment vehicle that includes Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency as an underlying investment, hence will be subject to a 100% haircut. The way I personally perceive that, and again, please let me know in the comments section if I am wrong on this, but if you've got an investment in this ETF now and you want to basically put it up as collateral, it's worth nothing. Hence a 100% haircut, where normally it could be, for example, oh, we're going to shave 50% off, 70% off, 10% off, whatever. In this case, they cut 100% of the value off, meaning it's basically worthless as collateral. And the normal numbers are going from 50 to 70%, meaning they're devalued not only 50%, but 70% from this. As you can see, collateral valuation for corporate notes or bonds rated B1 to B3, which are bad ratings, well, relatively, will be updated to use a haircut value up to 70%. Anyway, on a different side, because I don't like to cover only the negative news, even though that was my goal at the start, Australia and Hong Kong ETFs are coming up shortly, with Australia saying ETFs are coming before the end of the year, and Hong Kong I think is going to start this week even, which is pretty crazy if you start thinking about it. And again, in that similar field, Ethereum is getting extremely affordable again. If you want to do an Ethereum transaction, before I used to always think that I could buy a car with the amount of money that I've basically thrown away on gas fees. I've literally spent thousands of dollars in gas fees, sometimes a week, because the transaction is $100, $120, $95, and you have to do multiple times for one coin sometimes. Every swap is $50. It counts up. But now it's like, oh, $1 here, $6 there, $5 there. The average fee for the Ethereum transactions fell as low as $1, which is nice. It's been a while since I've seen that. Anyway, Forbes listed a interesting list of zombie coins, one of which included XRP, Cardano, and just a lot of coins that used to be really, really big previous run, but haven't gone on a crazy tangent just quite yet this cycle, which caught some people off guard thinking, are my altcoins gonna pop off? Some people doubt it. FBI warns against unregistered crypto brokers. The FBI is always warning out there about things that can make you money, so it makes sense. I mean, the FBI is not a bad agency. Can't go as far as to say that. They've done a lot of good things, but this warning is kind of stupid. The SEC postponed a decision on Bitcoin ETF options. I don't think that's necessarily bad. I don't think the real value lies in options. I think it's more for the speculators. But what is interesting to note is that indeed, a lot of this FUD, a lot of this crazy fear, uncertainty, and doubt came right around the halving. And it makes me realize that in this crypto space, it's huge, right? It's trillions of dollars, but it's so small. There's a couple organizations which can input just some announcements, just a sprinkle of fear, and it's catching the entirety of the space off guard, thinking, whoa, am I going? We all know the underlying thesis, which is the halving and just everything crypto related is in a good spot in the market right now. Yet still, because of all these announcements, because of some of the videos, because of some of the articles coming out, we still get a little bit stepped on our toes thinking, what if this time it's different? What if the market this time peaked at 74 and it's not going to continue on? I personally don't really have doubt, but I can understand very much so where you're sometimes are thinking, what if it's not going to go on for a raging bull market this time around? And the problem with that is it's not just one person. It's the majority of people thinking, yeah, it's probably not going to go crazy anymore. Especially now that altcoins have gone for a very good dip here. It gets people scared for what's about to happen next. And my personal thoughts are, I'd rather try and fail miserably than not try at all. Because all the money I've got right now, I'll make again. All right? That's everything goes wrong, I'll make it again. But I might never get the chance again. And many people, I think, fail to realize just how unique a risk-reward opportunity we've got right now. So I'm taking full advantage of it. I literally do not care what anybody else is doing, and I hope I don't fail, but I personally see the chance of failure as non-existent, basically. And that's why I keep sharing my journey with you guys here. Whatever we're doing, I'm keeping you guys up to date. And if you've not done it yet, make sure you put that subscribe bell on. Because, yeah, I think it's quite important to get yourself up to date with everything going on. Right now, there's a lot of FUD, but I don't really let it consume me too much. Even though I know the U.S. situation is really, really bad, I kind of feel as if that being bad is kind of like a bull thesis for crypto. If you really start thinking about it, all these announcements are another vouch for why cryptocurrencies do make a whole lot of sense. If the U.S. economy is in a really bad spot, I'm not going to go for index funds. I'm not going to go for your normal US stocks. And not going to go for the Japanese yen. If you didn't know, that's doing really bad too. Crypto does make a good argument. But yeah, that's about it.